So I guess we're live. Yeah, I think it's the orientation. So can I have the this way since it's not working this way? Good. Yeah. Um. I hope everybody is seeing me. The light is um a bit too bright on my face, and let me connect this with my microphone. I kind of forgot to do that before. I hope somebody can hear me. Happy Sunday. I'm doing a live broadcast, and I hope you can really hear me. Hello, everybody. The topic for today is building a stronger relationship. Building a stronger relationship. Relationship forms a very vital part of our lives, our daily lives. If you want to know how important it is to have a relationship, try not having one. We all have relationships. We have relationships with our friends. We have a relationship. We have relationship with our family members, co-workers, people we meet on our streets, in associations. Everywhere we go, we have relationships. But today I'm talking about the relationship between a man and a wife, a kind of love relationship, intimacy. People often have problems in their relationships. And until you know why people have problems in their relationships, you may not really know what to do not to have problems in your relationships. Sometimes life teaches us that we definitely in such mistakes. So we're talking about relationships. We're talking about building a stronger relationship. In the year 2026, I know that a lot of people, those who are in relationships already, want to grow relationships. They want to build their relationships. They want it to get better. Nobody wants stress. Nobody wants dramas. Nobody wants something that will give them heartaches. So, how do you go about building a stronger relationship? Number one is communication. Without communication, you find out that you can't go anywhere because you can't read the other person's mind. The person cannot read your mind. So you have to really bring things on the table. I'm communicating with you now. That's communication. It's a two-way thing. But when you keep things to yourself, you bottle up, you are not saying what's wrong with you. The person is not psychic. The person the person cannot read your mind. So at the end of the day, nothing is being said, or a lot is being said in silence, and silence doesn't say anything. So you have to communicate. Find a way of communicating with one another. It's very vital. Once you know that something is not going on well in your relationship, the next thing is not to get silent. Yes, 1 or 2 days, allow each other to have the space they may need. Sometimes people just need a little space to sort out emotions, to gauge things, to see where things are going. But By the time you know you have done 2 days without talking, then it's time to put it on the table and communicate. My dear, what's wrong? Why are we not having peace? Why are we not acting the way that we should have? Two people come together in order to have peace. That's the most important thing. So when there is no peace and there is a silent war, then there is the need to communicate. Why do relationships fail? Some relationships fail because people do not communicate, as simple as that. By the time you communicate in a very gentle way and you express yourself, you find out that most of the problems you bring to the table would be solved. The next thing is respect. Respect, let's go back to communication. You want to communicate with somebody and you start by being rude. You start by being insulting. You start by being saying, I can't take your rubbish anymore. I can't do this. Then you're not communicating, because the moment you remove respect from communication, then there's no need to communicate anymore. So there must be respect in the relationship, whether you are settling a rift, whether you have things you are bringing to the table, whether you want to just simply go ahead with the relationship and go to the next level. There must be deep respect. Respect is not about, in Africa, in Yoruba land, you kneel down for your partner. That's not respect. You can kneel down for somebody and still be disrespectful to them. Respect is considering their feelings, where they're coming from, talking to them in a gentle way, you know, considering their feelings when you're talking to them, being generally nice to them. Listening to them is part of respect. Listening to them, them out is part of respect. Not shouting down at people, not ignoring them. When you respect people, you don't ignore them. When you love people, you don't ignore them. So that is it. Another point is to support. You have to be supportive in your relationship. If you want to build a very good relationship, you have to give each other support. Support could simply mean asking after their growth, praying for them, helping them sort out office work if you live together, and generally supporting them, hailing them, doing the things that would make them feel better. People feel People perform better when they feel better. When you have a partner that supports you with her words, his words, kind words. I wish you the best in your interview. I wish you the best in your meeting. I wish you a very safe journey when you are traveling. Just be there for them, support them. And when they're in a very terrible mood or something is not going well with them, be supportive. Just generally be there for them. Then we're talking about another point is spending quality time with your partner. I tell you, there's no way you can bridge the gap in a relationship without spending quality time. You can't live in the same house, for instance. You go out all the time, you come back home, you pick up your baseball materials or your exercise gym bags, and you go away without taking your partner along with you. Or on the other side, you want to go out with your partner, and your partner doesn't want to go out with you. Your partner would rather be on the phone with her friends gisting rather than being by your side and spending quality time. You find out that you drift apart. Always create that in your normal day-to-day or weekly schedules. Find that time to spend together, uninterrupted time. It could be in your bedroom, you talk, you play together, spend quality time, catch up on work, on family, on important things. Without that, you'll just be wasting time in your relationship. And those are the things that bring resentment. You don't spend time, you don't care about what the other person does, you are not carry the other person along, you are just doing your things by yourself. You are not in a lone relationship, you are not alone all by yourself, you are with somebody. That means you should be together. So another point is intimacy. And by intimacy, I'm not talking about adult talks alone. Be intimate, play with one another. If you can't play with your partner, then why are you together? You are first of all friends before being partners. Always remember that. Be intimate, do cheeky things. You can give each other back slap, you can draw each other, you can do crazy things together. The most important thing is that you should be intimate. It is not only when you go to the bedroom, we'll talk about that some other time. It is not only when you go to the bedroom that you are intimate. You could be intimate in the kitchen, hold each other, play, generally be each other's friend. No other person should be closer to any one of you than each other. And that's very, very vital. Always know that this person I have chosen is my best friend. This person I have chosen is my best friend, and we have to continue to be intimate. We have to play together, hug each other, generally drag each other, be playmates, no matter how old you are. That's very, very important. Then, this aspect is something that tears people apart. Growth. Everybody in a relationship must keep growing. When you are not growing, boredom sets in, frustration sets in. And without support, which I talked about earlier on, you may not actually grow. You must look back to know if that person is growing. You must always ask, how is work? What are your plans? What are your plans for the year? What are your plans for the next 2 years? What are you doing? Let's look at it together. It is always very dangerous when one partner is growing and the other person is stagnant. It is very, very, very dangerous. And the reason is that when somebody is growing, they meet other people. They see people who have higher values than you. They meet people who are progressing fast. And then you are there. Yes, it's good for women to be there, but don't always choose to do only domestic things, except you are growing in the house also. Find something you can do online if you are the woman that works from home or you are raising children. Grow at your own pace. Look for online courses that you can do. Belong to communities where you can be active and you can do projects together. Reach out to people, be growing in whatever way. Growth doesn't have to be in your career, it could be in your community. Be known, be respected, be loved in your community. Do something that shows that you are growing. When you are not growing, other person is growing. They meet men like you who are growing, and they begin to wonder, why am I with this person? It's just normal. No matter how much you love somebody, when you keep growing at a very high rate and the person is behind. In fact, time that person will be checking the time. Why hasn't he come back? Why hasn't she come back? Because that person is not growing. But when both of you are growing, maybe not at the same pace, but at least you are growing, you find out that love grows bigger. You have things to talk about, you have projects to do, you have things to compare, and you are happy in your individual lives. Another point is forgiveness. How often do you forgive your partner? I know that a lot of people find it difficult to let go of hard feelings. She did this to me. I can't believe it. A friend of mine had issues last year. He had problems with his wife. And as they were trying to settle the problem, the wife said something to him he couldn't believe. She said, if we go our separate ways, I'm going to fight for everything you have worked for. I am going to fight for everything you have worked for. And he was shocked. He didn't think that their relationship would get to that point where the wife would be thinking about what he has worked for. He thought they were working as a team. He thought that love was just what was between them. And he thought that that problem they had was something that could be resolved between them. And the next thing she was talking about, let's go our separate ways. I'm going to take everything we have worked for. It was really, really painful. And he found it really difficult to forgive her. He left the home, he went to stay in a hotel, and he started having serious thoughts. And then she was sending people to him. She wanted him to forgive, and he wasn't going to forgive her. And other things set in. And that would have been the end of that marriage, if not that, well, other things set in. And up till now, he hasn't really forgiven her. Whenever he remembers, he's like, yes, it's difficult to forget when people hurt us, when our partners hurt us. But when you remember where you're starting from, it will be easier for you to forgive them. Forgiveness is a very, very vital tip and a very vital key in unlocking mysteries in your relationship, in unlocking happiness in your relationship. Then flexibility. A lot of us are too rigid. This is how I want it done. This is how we do it in my family. This is how it should be done. And we start having ego problems. We are not flexible. We are not trying to look at the other person's point of view. Okay, maybe if we do it this way, we might meet in the middle of the road and this thing will be sorted out and we'll be happy. Everybody is rigid, or one person is rigid. No, if I can't have it this way, we cannot move forward. Learn to be flexible. Life itself is not as hard as we put it. Life is a mystery we don't understand. So life is not something that you would say, oh, you want to kill the other person for, you want to make unnecessary points and all of that. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to be appreciated. So you have to learn to be flexible and remember that whatever you values you think you have, the other person has values too. So you just come and match them together. Sometimes I wonder why people wouldn't even talk about these things before they get together and know, okay, these are your strong points and you're not going to back down. From the beginning, if you know you are going to be rigid, and the other person can simply walk away. But we don't discuss all these things when we're getting together in a relationship. Then when you now come together, that's when you say, no way, I'm not going to take this, and you're not going to get down your high horse. It's not a good thing for any relationship. So I beg that you learn how to be mild. Learn how to be mild. Then we're talking about support. Support is quite different from teamwork. This is another vital thing. When you work as a team, not as you could give support for that person's thing. But in other things, you have to learn to work as a team. Your partner is your friend. Your partner is your lover. Your partner is actually your father or mother. Your partner is your friend. And your partner is your teammate. How do you work at work? If you start by saying you want to take the glory alone, you'd find out that whatever you are building will collapse. But if you start by saying, okay, let's see how it goes. Let's work as a team. If we bring A and B together and we work and we have the success belongs to us. We want to buy a car, for instance, let's do it as a team. It is our car. You bring XYZ amount, I bring XYZ amount, and we team up to do this. Or we have a project we want to do, or we have a family thing, work as a team. I have seen people going for weddings and the husband will have his own gift written, signed by himself without including his wife's name. I have seen it several times. And I have seen wives surprising their husbands by getting to an event and giving gifts in their own name alone without including their partners. That is not how to go about it. You must always work as a team. Then, this one is very, very important. Unrealistic expectations. I think couples should learn how to toss that. You are not even asking this person, what and what are you capable of doing? You just expect he should do this for me now. She should do this for me now. She should be present for me. And if every time I call, she should be there. Every time I need something, he should provide. Are you thinking about his progress? Are you thinking about his life? Are your expectations not too high? You should be considerate when you are dealing with your partners. You should be very, very, very considerate. So I think if we start doing all these things, we know we are asking questions. How much do you have? Would you be available on Saturday to go to my sister's wedding with me? Don't bring surprises. Stop bringing surprises. Just make sure that you have realistic expectations of the other person. Be considerate. When you love somebody, you'd be considerate. A partner might say, tomorrow we're going to go for dinner. I'm going to take you out for dinner. We're going to spend the whole day together. And suddenly a message comes for him that he has to be at an event. The office needs his attention. A customer needs him. Somebody needs him somewhere. And because you have planned, you have made an arrangement to have your nails done, you have made an arrangement to have your hair done, you have done all the works, you have even shopped for a very beautiful dress, and then this message comes and you go ballistic. You are not being considerate. You are not having realistic expectations. You are not giving him, or it could be the other way too. Always expect changes, and you could always make up. Don't use one event to spoil a whole lifetime of happiness. Always try to have the right expectations of the other person. Anything can happen. Even help might dip. And the person last minute might say, I have this terrible headache. I can't go ahead with the dinner. Can we have it at home? And you go angry. Maybe because you want to post on social media the dinner. You already have that at the back of your mind. You are going to show them. You are going to show them pictures. You are going to show them the fancy restaurant you are going to. And suddenly there's a cancellation, and you turn it against your partner. Those are wild expectations. You should always have realistic expectations of the other person. You should always be considerate. Learn to love the other person. Absolutely. If you don't love yourself, if you don't even think well of yourself, you can't love the other person. You have to learn to love yourself. And loving yourself starts from taking care of your health, taking care of your relationships with those around you. If you start by keeping malice with everybody, you can't have peace of mind. That means you don't love yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to be good to yourself. Take care of yourself. Look good all the time. Not for your partner, but for yourself. I tell you, when you love yourself and you have inner peace and you appreciate yourself, you look at the good things in your partner. You will always see that good thing in your partner. So let me get my phone close to see if there are messages that I need to. Thank you. I'm saying hi to you too. Rose, thank you so much for your kind comments. Is there any question so that I can know? Rose 1541. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Where are you calling from? Where are you chatting from? I would like to know where you're chatting with me from, so that I can always notify you. My email address is Adeola Omobola Agoro. That's ADEOLA OMOBOLA Quite a mouthful. I'll be expecting to read from you. And if there are topics you'd like us to talk about, please, you have been shown to me as a top fan. This person too said hi. Is no longer online. Nice having you here as a top fan. Um, so that is it for now. Relationships, building a very beautiful relationship in 2026. I also want you all to have a beautiful relationship with me. I'm going to be doing a lot of live shows, so that I can get to chat directly with you, get to know people. We talk about relationships, we talk about life generally. So if there are topics you'd like me to talk about, please email me and I'll be here to answer. So if there's nothing to talk about, I pray that we have a wonderful 2026. We build beautiful relationships with friends and family members. We build beautiful relationships with co-workers. Some of these rules or tips actually apply to our co-workers and our neighbors too. If you communicate with your neighbors, then you would know how to mitigate issues. If you respect your neighbors, if you respect yourself to start with, you would respect your neighbors. And that's a fact. If you don't respect your neighbors, if you don't respect yourself, then you don't respect your neighbors, and all you get will be court cases or insults or conflicts. So start by respecting people. Be supportive in your communities, be supportive in your environment, be supportive. Support doesn't always mean money. Support could be you are just being there. Like in my community now, I try to know what they are doing at the police post. There was a time I was supplying them with because in Nigeria sometimes electricity could be epileptic. You discovered that a while ago when there was power outage, so I'd give them rechargeable lamps. There was a time I gave them an Alsatian dog so that it will help with their work. These days, I check after them, the police officers. It is support, it's not money. Be supportive in your environment. Let them know who you are. Let your neighbors know who you are. You never can tell when you are going to meet your neighbors. So if you start by supporting people, supporting your neighbors, not support in that form, but just be generally known, then there'll be support for you too. Of course, I talked about communication, I talked about support. You may not spend quality time with your neighbors. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. That one is restricted for your partner and yourself alone. It's just enough to say hello. When I was growing up, there was this song on Sesame Street. Who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? In your neighborhood? So you should know the people in your neighborhood, just the next door neighbors, front door neighbors, not to be friends with them, but to be friendly. These are two things. You may not be friends with them, but I did not talk about affection. Of course, I wouldn't expect you not to have affection for your partner. Why are you in the relationship in the first place if you didn't have affection for one another? So I suppose you have to be fond of your partners, show affection. That's very, very key. I don't know why I missed that. And then, of course, I'm not talking about individual growth in your company. Yes, you may need that, especially when you have teamwork. Everybody must also grow individually because people know your key points. I'm a boss lady, and I have a lot of people working with me. I don't use that word for me. I have a lot of people working with me, and I know how I assess them individually and as a team. And everybody wants to shine. So it's very, very vital for people to shine. Then I talked about flexibility, teamwork, realistic expectations, and of course, self-love. I love myself. I think I'll always love myself before I love other people. And it is out of the love I have for myself that I give out to other people. So thank you all if you have been with me from the beginning till now. I've enjoyed being here. I'll be back again. Once there's any topic to talk about, I will be back here. One of the topics I'm going to talk about side women, side chicks. Do they have values? What are the expectations? What are the downtimes to that? What are the disadvantages? What are the emotional distresses involved? And all of that. I'll be right back. Thank you all and have a wonderful Sunday evening. Thank you.